All right, terrific. Well, hello, everybody. If you're in Cleveland, Ohio, it's a nice gray day here, but that's okay. My name is Laura Kleinman. I'm the president of the board of HFLA of Northeast Ohio, and welcome to our inaugural event, which is checking in with HFLA. We're really excited to bring you some stories of business owners in our community and what they've been doing during this time and how they developed a relationship with HFLA. And today I'm with Evan Delahanty, CEO of Peaceful Fruits. And he's right next to me over here on Zoom. And we're really excited to have you here today, Evan. And so first, let me do this. I think many of us are doing this. We're on Zoom calls these days to work or with friends. But Evan, how are you doing?
Hey, Laura, it's great to be here across the, the airwaves or the internet waves or whatever. And yeah, thanks so much for doing this. It's cool to check in with HFLA and with you as a friend of Peaceful Fruits and of mine, and doing all right. It's a weird, chaotic time, but everybody in my immediate circle, personally and professionally, is healthy, and knock on wood, that stays the same, and just trying to keep our head up and keep moving forward.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. I think many people are in that position, getting a little restless lately, but
sure.
I think everyone's looking out for one another. So something that is common to HFLA. For those of you who don't know what HFLA of Northeast Ohio is, we provide interest-free loans to address the financial challenges of residents and business owners really in Northeast Ohio who can't typically access traditional capital. And that's how Evan, got to know HFLA. And so, Evan, tell us a little bit about Peaceful Fruits and how you developed a relationship with HFLA of Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started Peaceful Fruits after I was a Peace Corps volunteer in the Amazon rainforest. Peaceful Fruits, Peace Corps,
Right.
easy link. And when I came back, I wanted to maintain that relationship with the folks down there. And so we started using sustainable, ethically harvested fruit like acai, mango, pineapple, to make fruit snacks. And that's exactly what we do. We make fruit snacks out of absolutely nothing but fruit. And while we're trying to do good with the way we source the fruit, we also are committed as now a certified B Corps. We're also committed to doing good in our community here. And we employ adults with disabilities to help us make all of our snacks. And so, it's not the cheapest way to make fruit snacks, because we actually put fruit in there because we, take care of the people that we employ, and we're trying to do everything right. But you end up with a really high quality product that tastes great and, is good for the community. And so we've just been, slugging away day by day, year by year. Hey, there we go. Always love to see it.
Well, and here is one, and Evan's absolutely right. When you look at the ingredients on the back, it's all organic, and it's pineapple, pear, apple, acai. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Acai, but
acai. Oh, geez, I really said it wrong. And dates. So we'll talk more about this a little bit.
Yeah. And so that's what we're all about, is just really trying to do things right. But the struggle as a small business owner is that there are people that care about your intentions, and then there are banks. And nothing against them. There are many great folks there, but they have to look at the numbers. They have to look at your tax history and all these other things that, as a small business starting out, we just didn't have the 3 years of tax history and the different things. We had a dream, and we had some growth that we were seeing in the market, and that's what HFLA offered us, was just an ear that listened to our dream and to the track record we built thus far, as opposed to saying, well, hey, here's the application, you're not able to check all the boxes, good luck, buddy, so sorry, but we can't help you. That's what the banks are saying. But HFLA was able to take a much more personal approach to it, to see the potential, and to make us a $10,000 loan that we were able to pay back and use to grow. So it was just a great find, really, to replace the traditional capital that we weren't ready for at that stage.
Right. Evan, at what stage of the business did you approach HFLA? I mean, you have kind of interesting background in terms of how you got things off the ground.
Yeah, so we went through a kind of different waves of growth, I guess you'd say, where started off making it home, around the kitchen table, just sampling it, trying it out, and then we started working with a local nonprofit to make the snacks, with adults with disabilities in downtown Akron, called Hattie Larlam. And so we started to grow a little bit there, get it out into stores. And then we had our big break, which was we were on ABC's Shark Tank. What was incredible is that in 5 minutes of airtime, we sold more than we'd sold in our previous couple of years of puttering around trying it out part-time, and not a little bit more, a lot more. We had $20,000 in sales when I filmed that episode of Shark Tank, and we did $75,000 in the 5 minutes that I was on TV, and then more over the next couple of weeks.
And then you have to fill it. You have to fill that order.
Exactly. And the banks, same thing. Again, not that they're not good people, but you just can't take to the bank like, here, look at my my Shopify website, please give me a loan. They they just weren't set up to respond to that type of need. And that's where, literally that's where I approached you guys to say, hey, it takes money to make money. I have to fulfill all these orders. I need equipment. I need inventory. I need to spend this money right now if we're going to actually realize and fill these orders.
Right.
And you guys said, well, of course, that's what we're here for. And so, it was just an incredible thing where, because I was working with the folks at the HFLA team very closely for a couple of days, couple of weeks there. Literally, I think I, submitted the application 1 week, and then I sat down with the group on Tuesday of the next week. Wednesday, they called me back and said the check's ready, and on Thursday I deposited it. And I spent it on Friday, more or less, because we knew exactly what we needed that money for. And it was able to, instantly turn into us being able to make the most of that opportunity on Shark Tank.
Good. It's a great story. And so now, I showed this one before, but now I'm able to walk into a grocery store, and find these. I know you can certainly buy them in other places, but Evan, tell us, what has it been like producing, selling, marketing during COVID-19?
Yeah, it's been tough. It's just a lot of uncertainty out there, and we are very lucky in many ways. And one of those is that as a quote unquote essential business, a food business, we were allowed to keep operating. And then also, luckily for us, we do sell a lot of products to local stores, but even more so, we sell online through our website, peacefulfruits.com, and through Amazon. And so there was a huge uptick, for everyone, of online orders, and especially for food businesses like mine. There was a pretty good response during that Amazon time. So we had our biggest week on Amazon ever was the week that lockdown started to go into place in Ohio and across the country. So as I said, we're much luckier than some, but that also means that we have to produce same
Right.
problem before. This time, fortunately, we had the money to pay people, but we needed people, and we got very lucky to find a silver lining in this crisis, where we had to shut down our program of working with adults with disabilities. We had to hit pause on it during this time because of the health risks that they face. They're much higher risk, and it's just not worth exposing them to that risk. But when the nonprofit Blick Center that we work with had to pause all of those operations, that also meant that a lot of therapists and job coaches and the folks that support those people with disabilities that I also work with every day, they got laid off. And so this is the silver lining, where we were able to say, hey, you're usually there to help and support the adult with disabilities, but that means my operation, you know how to do it because you're helping someone do it. Let's come in and you just do it for the next couple of weeks, and I'll pay you instead of paying them. And so you get some money in your pocket. I get some production, so I can fill orders for Amazon, and it really just was a kind of amazing synergy that worked out for us to be able to keep going. And it just takes a little bit of creativity. And so we were really lucky to be able to pull off a couple of good production runs and keep Amazon filled and keep on spinning. So it's not going to be our best quarter ever by any stretch, but at least we're able to keep the doors open, keep paying people, keep working, and keep connecting with customers. So
yeah, that's a really unique situation. Can you imagine if every producer had their employees had a buddy, or a shadow, and that if they had to leave, someone else could take their place. Do you know, are those individuals, the therapists and the others that are working with you now, are they in touch with their clients, do you know, that used to work for you at?
Absolutely. That's a big part of this, is really staying, tight with your team and with the people as best we can right now. So, we actually just yesterday, it was kind of fun, and it made us feel good. Hopefully it makes them feel good when they get it. But we just sent home through the mail, a pack of fruit snacks and a little note to all
Nice.
of our regular folks with disabilities that would be in here but can't right now. So definitely trying to stay in contact ourselves. The therapists are talking to them, very often, even if they're not able to physically meet with them. And it's, everybody has some amount of fear and struggle and uncertainty right now. And I think some of our folks are, dealing with that even more because, they may not, their news sources may be more limited, or just, harder to filter through the noise to understand, what's going on. And nobody knows exactly how scary this is or how to deal with it. And they're in that same situation. So it's
Very
tough if you're a little
challenging.
cut off, but we're trying to do what we can to stay connected.
Yeah, and so not having a crystal ball and not, knowing what's going to happen a few months down the road, or, the balance of the year, given that I just said that, you obviously as a business owner have to be thinking about the future, and have to be thinking about different ways to approach it, or scenario planning. What are you thinking about, this summer, fall? Are there shifts or pivots that the business is making, or new opportunities you're taking advantage of?
Yeah, absolutely. I think thinking ahead as best we can. You got to make contingency plans. Is the name of the game. And we are a little bit of a unique situation because we are, very much in the startup mentality. And so for us, getting back to normal is still failure, right? We're trying to grow. We're trying to launch new products. We're trying to, we're in 300 stores today. We need to be in 1,000 stores by the end of the year, or we're not being successful, and we're not operating in a sustainable way. And so in some ways that's freeing, because we can use this time to sort of plan, and it doesn't matter if you're in five more stores this week, as long as you get into 50 the week after that. You can balance the math out a little bit. But in other ways it is scary, because how do you launch products when you can't do meetings with the vendors? You can't go
Right.
into the headquarters of Target and say, here, put me in 1,000 stores. You got to talk to 1,000 tiny, little stores, which there's always challenges there. And so for us, yeah, we've really been trying to get creative and just explore those different options. So one thing we're really debating or considering is, if we have a new product line that we're trying to launch, well, we were trying to launch now, but we've pushed back. But if we're going to have to launch it online, maybe instead of in stores, what would that look like? And so actually, just sort of as an exercise and as a way to stay relevant with Corona-19, we actually launched a new flavor of our existing product, an elderberry flavor, very healthy, good for folks trying to fight off flu symptoms. And kind of as an exercise for ourselves, we came up with a concept, designed the recipe, and shipped our first sale in under 2 weeks. And we're able to, get it onto Amazon, get it out there. And we made a lot of mistakes. It was not the smoothest process by any stretch, but that's part of why we did it, was just to say, okay, how can we start simply? A whole new product line that has a lot of other challenges is tough, but if we just do like a new flavor of an existing product, it's simpler. We understand some of the challenges. What does it look like to do that, fully digital, and what can we learn from it? And so we put it out there, and it's doing all right, and we'll see how it grows. But it was a learning experience for us, and just a way to try to get some healthy options into people's hands.
Yeah. That's good advice, I think, for lots of business owners, trying to figure out what to do. And hopefully, failures aren't so bad. Hopefully they're not really expensive failures, but you're going to learn from them, and figure out how to go forward. We're going to run out of time pretty soon, Evan, but any advice you have for small business owners kind of now, and just, as you look at your evolution, as a business owner in a business, some helpful hints?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, especially the last couple of months, it's been even more than usual, is to use your resources and ask for advice. There's, especially in a crisis where things are changing so rapidly, there's no such thing as a stupid question, especially because, with Congress changing laws, and like the answer today is not the answer yesterday. It changes. And so, we've been really diligent, annoyingly so, because it stinks that we have to be this diligent, but we were super diligent, to apply for the payroll protection program, to, go to the city of Barberton where our facility is, go to our landlord, go to the county, go to the state, go to the federal, and just ask, what are the resources? What can you do? Here's our situation. Who's here we are. And obviously, the better job you've done of creating those relationships earlier, so it's easier to get that, that phone call or that email through. Of course, it helps, but it's not too late to start. If you just have to go and kind of beat down the door and say, I can't take the easy way out. How do I apply to this program? And just don't take no for an answer. And we've been able to get through on some of those where a lot of people just kind of get frustrated because the process is so messy. And, I'm the guy that I'll just call till I get through. And sometimes that's all you can do.
And you need to stay really organized too, right? Have your documents ready, those things you've been putting off. Now might be a really good time to get organized with them.
It really is. And that's and that's a great example where literally with Huntington, our regular bank, which, as we've grown, they're able to do more with us, right? And they've been great. They really have done a great job with us. And, like we got into the payroll protection pipeline. And I mean, my banker over there, I mean, she was working around the clock for me and other clients. So it was, 9:05 on a Friday night PM when she's like, okay, it's your turn. Can we do this right now? And, if you're not ready at that moment, then, she can't wait, right? Because there's 100,000 people in line behind you. And so, I had taken that hour, and it's a little bit painful, but it's never as bad as you think it's going to be, right? To like, okay, here's my tax documents, here's my payroll documents. I went back to 12 months from my, my payroll and like printed it out and put it into a spreadsheet and just, okay, Sue, here you go, forward. And she opens the email and she's like, oh, okay, we're done. It's 9:08. And, that's where, if you can't do that by yourself, I'm lucky enough to have decent records and, some financial and spreadsheet backgrounds. But, I remember that actually going through the HFLA loan application process was super helpful for me when later we went and applied for an SBA loan. And, this was a year or two ago, but, HFLA is a great resource to kind of help people think in a friendly way, whether going through the loan application process or just talking to you guys, because so many, how these financial organizations think, but just, talk to somebody that knows what they're talking about and get a little advice, because it's not as hard as you think it is to get a little organized, get some stuff onto a spreadsheet or into an email, and just be ready when your shot comes.
Yeah, good. Well, thanks, Evan. So we, our little session here, hopefully valuable and entertaining for everyone, was good use of your time. Once again, look at these yummy flavors. It's good stuff. When I was a kid, we had fruit roll-ups that I'm sure were crap, compared to what's in these. But again, don't forget to follow us on Facebook. We also have a Twitter handle, Instagram, and you can certainly go to our website at interestfree.org. And you can find out all about HFLA on that website, how we're making loans for small business owners now, and we'll continue to do so in the future. We've been doing it, in fact, for 160 years. So we're not going anywhere, and we're here to help, again, whether you're a business owner or an individual. And stay tuned, because we're going to be doing more of these in the coming weeks with some of our other borrowers. And the stories are just great. And Evan, I want to thank you, congratulate you on what you're doing and what you're doing for the community. And stay safe, stay sane, and good luck.
Thank you so much. And you as well. Stay healthy over there with your family and your team. And hopefully we'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks again.
Okay, great. Goodbye, everybody.